double whammy today with the wonderful construction that we have going on at the intersection here and the weather. The rain just won't stop. And our poor roof can't take it anymore. So, you know, I'm never going to complain about the rain. I'm just going to complain about what the rain does to our building, all right? But we love the rain. So, want to thank everybody for coming out today. Really appreciate you joining us here. My name is Brian Shedd. I'm the Executive Director for the Office of Innovation and Commercialization at UTPD. Sammy was going to be here today, and then she started not feeling so great yesterday and asked if I could step in and cover for her. I said, no problem. She got a new mom, so she's got to rest up, save that energy. You know, it takes a village, so we're here for you. Sandy, if you're watching, get better soon. All right. But we have two really great businesses that are here with us this morning to present. So first up, we have Pachuco. So I want to introduce them. So Ruben and Adelia Carrasco, the entrepreneurial husband and wife team behind Pachuco's, began their journey as food truck operators and have transitioned to the demanding realm of brick-and-mortar dining. They've got a great location in downtown Midland. Pachuco's is dedicated to introducing new and exciting dishes, significant job creation and retention, and enhanced customer service, and they were also a winner of the Midland Entrepreneurial Challenge last year. So I'm gonna let y'all take it away and tell the folks a little bit about your business.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So we're actually kind of presenting a little bit of our slides from an Entrepreneurial Challenge, just kind of tweaked them a little bit for this. Just kind of want to introduce y'all to our management team. You'll see a lot of these faces at the restaurant. So Ruben and I are the owners. We started off with an oil field background. Ruben's also the executive chef, so it's his menu creation, and he's also become a pit master in the last 2 years. Hyman has over 20 years of experience in the food industry. So he's our manager. He's probably the loudest one. You know, you'll hear him laughing in the back or in the front. He's great. And then Sherry, she was a previous Johnny's employee, and she stayed with us through the transition, and she is fantastic at catering. She's catered to thousands of people here in the Permian Basin, so she's our lead for that.
All right. So, like, our story is not very conventional. Like, we're not from the restaurant industry. We don't have a background in cooking, except, you know, just being home cooks and just doing those things that we love. You know, my cooking came from just out of necessity, out of having to cook for my family, out of my little brothers, coming from a single family or a single mother home. So you just kind of had to do those things. So those things kind of turned into a passion over time. And then you get to learn, like, hey, like, real actual cooking is not that hard. It's not expensive. But just getting into our story. So back in early 2019, my brother Jeff, right there, big part of the story. He's also on the mural outside. So we had a little bit of money just working from the oil field. We're like, man, we need to really change something in our family. Let's try to make a business together. So we started looking. We're looking at carpet companies, franchises, all kinds of crazy stuff, and it just nothing hit. And he called me up one day, and he was like, Junior is what he calls me. So he just was like, hey, just make your food truck like you've always wanted since you were a teenager. So I was like, man, I don't know. That's a lot because cooking means so much to me. So just now, like once you make a hobby into a business, the fun goes away. The satisfaction at the end of the day is much higher, but just know that if you make a hobby into a business, it's gonna be different, all right? You know, you're not gonna be smiling at the end of the day. It's not all rainbows, and you know, if you come in here, I'm not the super big people person, so like, I get burned out at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, it doesn't matter. I match energy, so for me, like, that's just who I am. So that's why I kind of try to stay out of the limelight, because I know who I am wholeheartedly. But also, I have lots of people that depend on me, and I have to be that person. Hence, I'm out here telling our story, right? But yeah, getting back to the story. So we found the food truck. It's sitting right outside of the restaurant. That's what we started it. It was a 1963 Ford P40. Used to be a red truck through the 60s. Then an ice cream truck, and then it was a RV that went back and forth to California and New Mexico. So just real quick, when I bought the truck, we bought the truck on July 19th, 2019. That time we started making the steps to become a legal business in Texas. That was filed on July 19th, 2019. It's also the day my brother passed away, July 19th, 2019. So I don't believe in coincidences. Yeah, it's sad, but I think this is all part of it, you know? So I really pay attention to things like that and be like, well, we really set the path to change things for a family. Sometimes it just doesn't go the way you plan it. You just have to be open to these things and run with it. So I don't waste time. I don't have time for, you know, petty arguments or what the city waits for or who my customers are. I just do what we're set out to do. So that's the energy we come with. We don't pay attention to anything else other than being true to ourselves. So after doing the food truck thing that first year, like we came out strong, and we were only operating on the weekends every 2 weeks because that's kind of how my oil field schedule was. We did the food truck battle. We set that up for nonprofits, and it was great. Like we did everything that first year, and I was like, oh man, everything that I wanted to do, I did it already. So that really drew me for a loop. So we did that for a little while, and then we went to Waconia, Minnesota, and bought that big fire department command center. We operated in that for a little while, and then we stopped for a little bit. We stopped probably about 6 months with the food truck, just kind of reevaluating things. And man, where are we going? What are we doing? And we're like, we need more money. So I went back to oil field. I went back to consulting, and during that time, that's when the Johnny's Barbecue opportunity happened. We didn't know these people. It just happened. I found that they were selling, and I got their number, and I called them right away. I didn't even wait. Like, she's like, what are you doing right now? Like, I'm calling the owner of Johnny's Barbecue. I just feel called to this. I need to do this. So I called him, arranged a meeting, and you know, the rest is history pretty much. And you know, in December 2nd, 2022 is when we first opened the doors. Now going back to the barbecue thing, we've never made barbecue before, ever. So if you eat at our restaurant, had our barbecue, it's come a long way. In the food truck, it was an element of the dish. I like to layer flavors. I think about the dish as a whole. So, you know, I started on a pedigree. You know, I did that because I didn't know what I was doing. But that allowed me to learn what certain meats were doing, at certain temperatures, certain times of day. Everything that I did, all the knowledge that I gained was because I took those steps to do it. I didn't wait for anybody to tell me anything. I didn't have anybody teaching me. It's really up to you guys. It was up to me if I want to do this, and that's what set the course. And once you make the change in your mind and how to think that way, you can really do anything.
So we are in downtown Midland, so our primary target market is the downtown population. So last year they accounted for about 63% of our sales. The next group that we really target is all the foodies. So, you know, our menu is unique, it's a little different. We want to introduce people to flavors they haven't had or kind of curious about. And then our third target market is catering. In our first year, we only did about less than 10% of our sales were catering. So this year, with the Entrepreneurial Challenge, actually, we were able to outfit our kitchen to better serve and better prepare for catering. So that has skyrocketed this year. And then, so some of the strengths that we have, one of our mentors at BAM, Mr. Crane, he always taught us to keep it fresh, new, and exciting. So that's always stuck with us. So if you've been to our restaurant, you see our menu, it's very unique, it's different. You want a burger, you want tacos, you want fries, or barbecue, we've got it all. And then Ruben has gotten, he's a genius when it comes to food. I mean, I can't cook, but, he's gotten really good at blending, traditional flavors, with all these international cuisines to be able to appeal to a larger audience. You don't have to fight about like, hey, like, I feel like this or that tonight. Come here, you can come to a restaurant and have a little bit of everything. Another big strength of our business is our location. We are in downtown Midland. The Santa Maria Hotel's being built. Santa Maria Hotel is being built right next to us, so that's gonna help us, that's gonna drive business. And then another strength is our rotating menu. So if they were up to Ruben, we would probably have like a book, like the Cheesecake Factory of hundreds of items. But we have to limit that. So we have our rotating menu specials. About every week we have something different, just kind of whatever they think of. We've allowed our employees to, they'll work on something, present it to us, and we're like, this is great, it's going on the menu for next week. So those are some of the strengths. I mean, we've got a great team who has really helped us propel, our business and our ideas and everything.
Yeah, so like in this very short time, like from 2019 to now, we've done a lot, and I don't really enjoy it. And that sounds wrong, but it's what I set out to do. I can't. If you stay there too long, you don't have any progress. Like this is all great and all, but that's the point. That's why we're doing this stuff. So like this year, we won nine awards. Like last year, the first 2 years that we did the food truck, we did the food truck battle, and that was just to highlight nonprofits and to showcase what the food trucks are doing out here. We have something special. Everyone says, oh, it's not cool out here, this and that, blah, 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 blah. I know, where's Mr. Dawson at? I see him all the time on Facebook, just telling about it. It's so special. We have a lot going on out here. But yeah, we're featured the first year in Texas Monthly twice. We were honored for award, or nominated a world award down in San Antonio for the TRA Deep in the Heart Award, and that award was highlighting restaurants and chefs that are doing something unique outside of the metropolitan areas. So it's huge. I'm very proud of this stuff, but like I said, it's just all part of it. So, if you're really looking to do a business or you are in business, why are you doing it? Right? So this is why. This is about legacy. My brother and I made this plan, and this is how we're changing our lives. We're really about that. It's not going to be hard. There's blood, sweat, and tears. It's for real. A lot of times where you question yourself and you're just, well, what is this? Uncertainty. Everything's uncertain. You work for someone else, it's going to be uncertain. Just part of life. It's just enjoy it, embrace it. But it's different when it's yourself. It's different when it's your heart and soul on it. So that's the difference between what we're doing. And if you're a business owner, that's what you need to come in with. That's how you set yourself apart. All right. With our growth and our future plans, we're helping bring a huge barbecue festival at the beginning of next year, which us and Brandon Creek were already talking about doing something like that. Not a competition. There's too much competition in this, and who's best this, best that. It's all fluff to me. Like, it doesn't matter. There's so much division, and it's all great. There's this community between Midland and Odessa should be higher. There's too many people, too many negatives going around. So we were already starting that, and I was approached by something huge, and we're helping facilitate that. So beginning of next year, it's something that's coming to the Permian Basin, and it's going to be huge for the barbecue community and our we're going to add alcohol sales soon. We're not in a super big rush. We're not a bar. We're just barbecue and beer go great. So sometimes we just away for free. Probably not the best idea for sales, but that's what we do. Is we're about creating excitement. Really want to provide employee benefits, and the Entrepreneurial Challenge really helped us offset that. So that's like number one for us, is really getting our employee benefits for them, because restaurant workers are really some of the most underserved people, and they come. A lot of them are working there for a reason, and the culture we're building at the restaurant is like, it's okay, we all make mistakes. But it's what matters, what you do in here. You're able to show who you are. You're not those mistakes. So I think that's what really sets us apart, because these people show up day in, day out. They take care of what I set forth, what we set forth, and they're doing it. It's something to be proud of, and it's something that we highlight. We're gonna go get back to doing course dinners. We do that occasionally, like with the Blue Door and some private functions, where I can really play and really push the envelope of the things I want to create. Because my menu, it's approachable, but it's just different enough that people still buy it. But is it really the stuff I want to make? No, it isn't, but nobody will buy it on whole. So that's something that I really want to do. We're going to do some brunch, kind of out-of-the-box brunch meals. And then we're hoping to get our barbecue sauces in retail here pretty soon. Hopefully by third quarter next year, and then we're looking into expansion. The first year, we had 2 people offer us to franchise in Steveville and San Angelo. We turned it down. It wasn't appropriate for us. We don't know what we're doing, so we're still learning it. So the growth is there. I'm not about the Permian Basin. I'm about Texas. I love it. I love being here. This is my home, and I want to drive it here, but really my focus is on Texas. So we're gonna double down here, and then bring the highlight here, and then expand from there. But that's pretty much us. We've come a long way in a very short time. But yeah, it can be done. We want to be a catalyst for change. We want to show people, hey, you can do it. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you do, but once you put that in your mind and set those things in path, you can do it.
Thank you so much. Grab a seat. We're going to do some Q&A. We're doing something a little bit different today. We have a new system for submitting questions. So Art's going to bring that up. It's a little QR code. I think you can scan it on the screen and post a question, and they'll pop up on the screen. I can also just go around and call on people. This is a school, right? So I can just point at you and you have to ask a question. So I'm going to kind of kick things off. You mentioned team a lot, and I know this is something that was really important in your MEC presentation as well. And it's always an issue out here. Every business we talk to, they always have trouble finding people and keeping people. And I know that's really important to y'all. So I wondered if you could just kind of speak a little more about, what your approach to staff appreciation and retention is. How do you recruit new people? Where do you find them? How do you get them to you?
So that's kind of it's a weird question for me, because the people I'm really like, the things that I need and the people I need come to me, and I put it out there and I feel that. It sounds, like otherworldly, but this is really what it is. And so when those people come to me, I ask them what they want, what do they want to accomplish, what would it take for you to work for me, because words are cheap. So I give them everything they ask for, everything. It's up to them to show it, because I'm gonna hold you accountable for that stuff. A lot of people get phased out when they realize, oh, maybe I wasn't telling the truth about this, and the people that are about that, they stay, and that's what helps me make my business. It's up to us to navigate that. All right, now I've got a $20 cook, right? But they're worth it. They're doing these things that we need. So yeah, there are some sacrifices there, but we treat them as professionals. We're not a fast food chain. We're not this and that. We're a legitimate restaurant, and we have to work harder than everyone else because we're not from that. We don't we're learning as we go, really. And not only that is we invested everything into this. So there's no room for failure. And if we do, we learn. We failed along the way, but we learn and we make sure we don't fail again. But that's the culture and what the tone we set at the restaurant for our employees, hold them accountable. But at the same time, hey, you're human, you're gonna learn. It's okay. But we're present. I'm there every day. You know, you can't BS me. I'm gonna let you know. And that's the difference. Like, I'm there working. It's not an investment property for us. This is truly us. So I think that's what they see it, you know, and that's why I think we have the employee retention that we do. We've gone through a lot of people the first year, but those are those people that, you know, don't hold true to who they say they are.
Yeah, and then, you know, we expect a lot of our employees, but we also reward them. So, in our first year, we rented a cabin in Concan, and we took our employees on a trip. We took all of them and their families, you know, like, hey, you guys have done great, like, we're doing great, and we couldn't do it without you, so let's go take this trip. That was our first vacation, and then just a few months ago, for the TRA, we said, hey, like, we're all nominated for it, it's not just us. So we took them with us too, and that just kind of shows them that we value them. You know, like, you have to value your employees, and they'll work harder for you. We have 3 of the original Johnny's employees who helped us remodel the restaurant. You know, that was, we did all of that ourselves. And we're very fortunate, like, you just treat them well, and they'll treat you well.
It's good. Celebrate the wins and the professionalism. I like that. So let's see. We got a question that came in. So how do you keep a positive culture and team spirit on the rough and stressful days?
I mean, for us, you have to be that person. You know, you have to work hard. Like I said, going back to you have to work harder than even your employees. It's just part of it. It's a given. You know, and it's just creating that network of people that you can depend on. And for me, that's my wife and Jaime. So when we're stressed out, let's say, okay, we can talk and we can kind of decompress. More so for me, it's just whiskey, but but yeah. So like that's just a given. So a lot of that stuff, so you can navigate those hard times is being prepared, mentally prepared for that. On a drive, when I'm driving by myself or something, I'm running through scenarios of this has happened, this happened, this happened. You know, and I think that came from I was state trooper for a long time in Indiana, and I would always run scenarios through my head, always. This would happen, this is how I'm going to respond, because you know, if you don't have those mental processes built in, you're gonna lag in your response. So that translates to everything for how I do things. So I think that really helps me in what we're doing now. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. And it looks like the technology's working, so that's great. So thank y'all for submitting questions. We got another question up here. If you could go back to July 2019 and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be? So I guess this is when you first started, right? So what would you tell yourself now? What would you tell yourself then?
For me, I would tell myself, quit being so scared. I've always been the reserved one. I've always been the one that's a lot more cautious and it's like, hey, you know, let's do this, let's do that, let's hold on. And if I could go back, I'd say just do it. Like, you have nothing to lose. If you fail, like, just get up and try again. And you know, it took a lot for me to be like, okay, like, yes, I trust you, let's do this. And it's been great.
With a lot of arguments. But yeah, no, I wouldn't take anything back. You know, I wouldn't do anything differently because I know I was trying. You know, if I would take anything back, the outcome would be different. So like I said, I'm really faithful, and I really believe that things that should happen are gonna happen. So I don't force anything. As long as I'm working hard towards it, and I know I've tried my best, that's it. You know, it may not come when you want it to. It'll happen when it needs to. Just like the entrepreneurial jobs, we were in that thing 3 times. But if we wanted the first year or the second year, it wouldn't make the same impact. Just like with anything in our lives. So really trust the process. You know, it's kind of cliche to hear those kind of things, but it's true. That's why they're those sayings. So yeah, I wouldn't take anything back. Because I know I tried, and I knew that was just all part of the process.
We'll do one more question and then wrap up. But this one I think is a good one because this one comes up a lot too. It's just, you know, in terms of marketing, like what works. So have you tried traditional marketing? Are you primarily focused on social media and word of mouth? Like what's working for you?
Yeah, so we just now started traditional marketing. So we just now started doing radio. Before we started just doing, you know, Facebook and social media and learning those things and how to do these ads and all that stuff. And it was very beneficial for us. And it's crazy, like a lot of businesses don't know how to do that. So from there, I learned how to geo-target, geo-fence, learned really how to use Google. So that really helped us. And that after social media, we focused on Google. And from there, we turned it off for a good while just because, man, there's no point in advertising. I can't even keep up with the people I have to serve now. So just here last month, and we started our first traditional radio ad. So that stuff's all there. We understand. We understood that going out, but we put the steps in there to learn how to understand that because it's all untapped resources, all untapped markets. You know, for us with the radio ad, who we're marketing to is not traditionally our customers. So there's good, there's bad. So we have to navigate that stuff. So for us, I see it like I see the path. I see these challenges and these stop signs. It's just how do you navigate that? If you're not ready for each one of those stop signs, there's no point in doing it because it can set you back more than it helps you. Like not about the money. Money's great, but if you do all this marketing, you do all these things, and you're not ready for it, it can do you more harm than good. But it's beautiful having those untapped resources ready to go. So.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, if you got so much business that you got to turn the marketing off, I guess that's a good problem to have, right? Yeah.
Before we won a challenge and had a kitchen.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. Well, thank y'all so much. We really appreciate you coming and telling your story, and look forward to more success for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Got a little something for you. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Awesome. Okay. Thank y'all. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. So Cece just let me know we have more coffee is coming, but we have plenty of donuts. If anybody's hungry, just go ahead and grab something. But we're going to continue on and introduce our next speaker. So Mr. Ricky Hickey, he's a serial entrepreneur, but also a parallel entrepreneur, as he owns 3 separate businesses. So Main Event, a party rental company with jumpers, games, tables, chairs, everything you need for a party. When COVID hit and that business slowed down, he started Let Us Dump It, which is a roll-off dumpster business that has remained successful since its launch, helping Midland, Odessa, and the surrounding areas with their removal needs. And lastly is the Design Factory, a business that Ricky became a co-owner in because of the potential we recognized. The Design Factory specializes in digital marketing services and graphic design. All 3 are doing great and have won gold for the MRT Reader Choice Award, so congrats on that. All right, Ricky, take it away.
He touched on so many things about being successful, and probably everybody in this room has the same thing going for them and they do the right thing. I started this 24 years ago. I'm lucky enough now that I get to be a speaker at some of the conventions I go to, and that first little clip, I always play that song because that's the song that I resonate to. I want to be a billionaire so fucking bad, right? So you should have that in your mind every day, you know? You want to reach for goals that are out of your reach. You think that you can always achieve them. Well, the same thing happened with Midland Sports. I started that. I was just driving around doing churches and schools for about I don't know, 15 years. And part of my presentation, these other places that I go, I tell them, for 15 years, I drove around like a dumbass, making $200,000 to $300,000 a year. And I was stuck, right? And I thought, man, there's gotta be something. So I joined a bunch of groups with people just like me in the inflatable industry all across the United States. So I went to a convention and thought, man, there's a whole bunch of dumbasses just like me in this room. You know, there was hundreds of people. But then some of them were speakers up there. There was a guy that got up there and he was a speaker, and he only made $40 million a year before doing inflatables. I thought, man, I really am a dumbass, you know? So part of the deal is they showed you how to get there. They had a CRM, you know, they were selling you something, right? If you were gonna buy it. There was a guy, that guy, he did a presentation there and he wasn't even a part of that group, but he said, if you come with me, I'll show you how to do all of this. It's $40,000 a year. And then you can decide how many years you want to ride with me. But I'm going to take you, and he didn't know where everybody was at in the room, money-wise. He goes, if you're running $200,000 or $300,000 a year, I'm going to take you to $1 million. You know, and it's going to cost you $40,000. And I thought, man, what a good investment. So there's probably about 15 of us flew out to Atlanta, Georgia. He ran us through this whole thing, what they were going to do. It's all of the social marketing that you see right now. It's all the stuff that people do. But when I first looked into it, I went, I'm going to leave this step off, I'm going to leave that step off, I'm going to leave that step off. I don't need this, I don't need that. That costs too much, I'm not going to do that. But then I watched all of my buddies in that room sign up for $40,000. And the pressure was on, so I signed up for $40,000. 6 months later, the fire was flying. I mean, I was like, gotta go buy new trucks, gotta buy more equipment, gotta hire more people. I mean, it just took off like a wildfire. You know, what they had was perfect. It was SEO, Google AdWords, Facebook retargeting. There's all these things. Some people think they can learn them all, and you can learn some of them, but there's a lot of back-end stuff that you can't learn because they're not gonna teach you, right? So I took all that, I watched them do it. I went back to Atlanta, Georgia. I think 6 times a year. I have a small computer science degree, so the things they were showing me, I understood. They were showing everybody in the room. I would ask one-on-one, hey, can you show me how you do that on the back end on the SEO? And they would sit down and show it to me thinking I wasn't understanding it, but I was. So when I came back, I dropped them after 1 year and I did it all myself. And it all just kept going just like it was going. COVID hit, and I don't know if you remember COVID, but people like me, it threw you on the floor and jumped up and down on you. Because I do big events, churches, schools, big events. They were over, boom, you know. So it went from way up here to way down there. But luckily, I've always been good with my money, so I started another business. Let us dump it, and with that one, it grew. It grew, and it grew because I did the same thing for it, with the same philosophies, with the same marketing. And then we started the Design Factory, and now we're helping other people making millions of dollars. This chart is just a little bit about what I do, and I think this is where it's at right now, you know, so it'll finish at about $2 million this year. Let us dump it, it'll finish at about $1.5 million. This is its 3rd year, you know. The other 2, they're making strides to get there too. And then I've got 2 more businesses that I'm rolling out next year. So there's a lot of things people can do, but there's a lot of things that people fail at. And I failed for the first 15 years driving around like a dumbass because I wouldn't open up my mind and see what I could do to better myself and better everything around me. You know, I don't want to build a business, I want to build a legacy. And the legacy is my kids and my grandkids will take these businesses and they will do other things with them. If you notice, when you first walked into the door, I left some books up there. I think I bought like 10 or 15 books. I would like for you to take one if you're interested in a book, because what I always feel about everything in general is a leader's a reader, a reader's a leader. You learned that when you was in high school, you either listened or you didn't, you know. You can take knowledge and you can make yourself a better person. And that's really what happened whenever I went to that marketing deal. They made me open my mind and made me see other things from a different perspective. And when you do that, if you're trying to scale your company, or if you're trying to make more money, you can do that. I'm working with the chambers right now, and we're trying to put classes together. It would be like a 6-course class. And what that would be is we would teach you all the things that we've learned over time to help your business. And I just think a lot of people that are entrepreneurs, they think they know, and then maybe they don't know. Or they think they know everything, or they really don't know a whole lot, and they need some help, right? So these things will give people a chance that they could join, and they can see what these classes are about, and you can see, how come I've never done that? There will be some presentations, some people there in those classes that we've helped make millions of dollars, and I hope that's your goal, is to make millions of dollars. There'll be some things in there that you'll go, man, I thought about that, I know a little bit about that, maybe I need to know some more about that, you know. So that's just a little bit about it. These are a lot of things that I do continually. I expand our companies. Like right now, it's in the process, this should be in November, we're getting a mobile skating rink, ice skating rink. So just things like that. We have LED dance floors, we have tents, we have bathroom trailers. I just started this one. I mean, it's taking off like crazy. I mean, so there's so many things, and that's a good thing about being an entrepreneur. You can get to a point where I see things different than other people do. You know, used to, when I was in that truck running around making $300,000 a year, the only thing I saw is I had blinders on, and I just saw where I had to go to the next stop. Right? Now, I see it all, you know. Now I go places, different towns, bigger cities. I go to conventions, to meetings. I'll see stuff and go, that might work in Midland. You know, so those are the things that when you start getting better at what you do, you'll see a lot of things around you that might could fit in with a little bit. They touched on some great points about taking care of your people. I strive to do that every day. I want them to be, they're not only a part of our team, they're a part of us, and we're a part of them. You know, every year we take them all on vacation, and we set goals for these other businesses, and we already went over all of them. If they do this, there's like 20-something people at the last one, the design factory. We're all going to Cancun on my dime. So, pay people to help you, pay them right. Don't sit there and look and go, well, they're only making $11, $13 at that place over there, so I only have to pay them $13.50. You know, don't look at that. Look at a P&L. If you don't have a P&L for a business, I advise you need to do that immediately, because without a P&L, you'll never scale. You're just turning money into your pocket. You know, you have to have a P&L so that you can see and go, what would really happen if this person is this good and he's making $17, $18 somewhere else, and I paid him $25 an hour? What would really happen to that P&L? Smidgens. Smidgens. How much would it really hurt you? Smidgens. It's just people get greedy in all business. Don't be greedy. Make the people love to work for you. Work with them. Celebrate the wins, as you said, and there's a lot of them. Make it an exciting place to work. Do good every day. Remember, God's in control of everything.
Hang on to that. Thank you so much. That's great. Same deal. We're going to put the QR code up. If anybody has questions, go ahead and submit those. And to kick us off, I mean, I'm really interested, you know, just kind of learning about your businesses and reading your background. Like, you know, we've had folks that come through the Entrepreneurial Challenge here, and they come in with these big visions of like, I want to have like 6 businesses, and we're gonna subsidiaries and this and that. And you know, usually we're trying to like, you know, focus in on something. But I mean, at some point, you have an opportunity to expand or maybe start a new business. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about kind of to you, like what is that opportunity that you see? Okay, like this business is in good enough shape that I can now focus on something else? I mean, you talked like it could be an opportunity, maybe it's a dollar amount of stability, like just if you could go into that a little bit.
Cash flow, baby.
Yeah, so,
You know, I don't try to incur bills. I do not incur bills, let me put it that way. So it's cash flow. When I get, Land in Sports does awesome. Been doing awesome for 7, 8 years off the chart, So that cash flow, I can buy other things, I probably got, I don't know, a roll-off tinter business, I probably got $2 million in it right now, and having 0 bills, So I mean, it's cash flow, it really is. You can do other things. You can start waiting for Uncle Sam to take it away from you, or you can start thinking about what you're gonna do with it. So that's kind of what I do. I see where I'm at, I see what can fit into what I'm gonna do, and Uncle Sam ain't a part of it. He's somebody else's uncle, But, I work on expanding so that I'm gonna leave legacies for my children to take control, and my children do work with us. I have 5 children, but 2 of the husbands and wives work in the business with us too.
that's great. And so, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you accrue the cash flow and now you have the resources to invest in the next venture. Have you done any like fundraising or any loans of any kind? I mean,
Zero.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Zero.
That's
My
great.
bank, I go in there all the time. I go in there every day, taking them checks and different things. And they all know me real well. Several times a year, the guy come out there and just start talking to me. Do you ever need money, Ricky? No, don't. Don't get ahead of yourself. I don't get ahead of myself. When I started Midland Sports, I worked for a company that I had a 401k in there, and I built it up. And when I told my wife I was going to start inflatables, she goes, and because you got to remember, this is when nobody had them. I saw them in California, and I said, I'm going to take that money out of 401k and I'm going to throw it. Sorry, I get emotional. When I mention family, because it's who I am. But I started it for a church, what company. And I knew the first time I did it, that the sky was the limit. I knew that, thank you. I knew that God had put me in this place. And no telling where it was going to go. She told me, she goes, man, what happens if it fails? I never even envisioned, that never even registers in my mind. I don't even know how to spell that word. I don't even know what it means, but she did that day. And I said, well, if that happened, it's not going to happen, but if it did, I'd go to work running somebody else's company. I roll the dice all the time, and I throw them hard. And have I failed? I haven't really, but if I throw the dice and it costs me money the wrong direction, yes. Sometimes a lot of money. I had an amusement park one time, probably, I don't know, lost $700,000 or $800,000 in that. But I rolled the dice. I wasn't scared. And that's the way I am. I roll the dice. I mean, these other companies I'm starting, they're going to make a lot of money too. I mean, there's no way they can go anywhere but up.
That's great. We have a question for you here that came in. So, where have you found, how have you retained a steady flow of part-time, hourly employees and contractors?
Again, I pay them more than the work. I come up with commission structures on some of them. I show them, here's what you can do, and here's how you can do there. Here's how you can get there. I help them achieve their goals. I don't just go, here you go, good luck. I go, here, let me help you. Let's walk through this. Let's see what these scenarios could happen if this happened and this happened. I don't build customers, I build relationships. So you can build customers. If you do, you need to change it. You need to start building relationships. But those people make everything happen for us. And the same way, the people that work with us are part of our team. I make them feel like they are, and they are. I definitely big part of our team. When we're doing big events, because we do big events with inflatables, schools, churches, ConocoPhillips, UTPB, I mean, we do colleges all over the place. I go with the team, I'm right out in the middle of it. I'm helping them roll up stuff. I'm helping put kids on rock walls. I'm not some guy sitting in an office going, I own that, I own that, I own that, I own that. I'm in the middle of it. What people do that work for me, they know and they respect. That I wouldn't ask them to do anything that I'm not doing right beside them. And I think that empowers the people around you to go, man, that's so cool. You know, they know that we make a lot of money, but here's the boss right here with me. He's as dirty as I am. You know, he's sweating and stinking as bad as I am right now. You know, he's cutting up, he's buying us lunch, he's having a good time with these kids. I make people smile, that's what we do every day. We make people laugh, smile, and build memories at Midland Sports. I have the greatest job in the world. And I've been doing it forever, and I will do it till the day I pass this earth.
Any more questions? Do we have any more coming? Does anybody else in the audience have a question they'd like to ask Ricky? Can you hear it? I can tell that your businesses mean a lot to you, and it's very personal. And that connection, I think, and that drive to not even think about failure, right, is so important. But I can tell it keeps you going.
Passion is the number one thing in life. You have to have passion about what you do. You have to wake up every day and give 110% what you do. I have friends of mine ask me, are you ever sick, Ricky? Never. They go, you don't get sick? Maybe. You stay home? No. You know, I have the passion and the desire. I have to hit the ground every day. I have to be with my people. And I have to help make things grow. I have to do every day 110%. If you tell yourself that, as an entrepreneur, there's nothing keeping you from being successful. Read books, follow people, join groups, get mentors to help you. Like I said, we're putting together some stuff. Be a part of something, not just alone by yourself. Don't do like I did for 15 years and drive around like a dumbass, thinking that I had the answers, and I didn't. You know, find the answers through other people, expand your business, make millions instead of thousands.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.